So, John, episode 102.
Wow.
The Pod Bay Door. We've been gone a while.
Yeah, we have been.
But we've been working.
But we worked out we did our community service.
That's right. We did our time in the old Vegas. Yeah. But of course, as we've explained to everybody, we've been working on the Invisible Maybe podcast. It's thevisiblemaybe.com. Please visit us over there. Not as hamstrung as we are with the Vegas podcast. So we talk about everything and anything over there. But come over and say hello to us. It's thevisiblemaybe.com. All the podcast formats you can find us. But we are on the Pod Bay Door today, talking about Vegas one more time. And there's a couple things I'll mention off in the news. There's a whole bunch of things. Of course, the earthquake.
Yes. 2 earthquakes.
You felt it. I wasn't here.
I didn't feel it.
You didn't feel it?
I didn't feel it myself, but I knew people who did.
Okay.
And how could you not have felt it? Because I'm experienced with earthquakes.
Yeah.
I lived in Japan, lived in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So, of course, what a lot of people don't realize is Nevada is third in the U.S. in number of earthquakes after California, Alaska, and then Nevada.
Yeah.
But we tend to get them really small.
Right.
2s and 2.5, something like that, and you don't feel them.
Well, it was, and hope the folks in California are okay. Soon if they're going to be broken off and just floating away.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I was in the Long Beach, and I was in the Whittier.
Okay.
And I was going to school. I was at Pepperdine University, and during the Whittier, and the strangest feeling I could even describe. It made you kind of queasy.
Yeah.
You knew something was wrong, and then my bed. I was in the dorm room, going to college, and my bed slid all the way across to my dorm mate. Wow. And we're laying next to each other, and Pepperdine University down in the MU, the Memorial Union, like all the colleges have, where you eat breakfast. In the Pepperdines, they have these giant glass walls where you can overlook the ocean, and many times I could see the whales, passing by. It was just a beautiful, breathtaking view, and we went down there to see if everybody was okay and what was going on, and the glass was going in and out and in and out. Yeah. But I've never really truly felt one here. I mean, I thought I did, but I never could attest to it. But I guess there were stories, out of Vegas, Penn Jillette was performing and stopped his little show, and actually it wasn't doing his magic show. He was involved in some sort of jazz trio or piece, and he stopped that and introduced himself and said, "Hey, I think something's going on." The rock musician out of the UK, is it Robbie Williams? Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah. He was here, I believe, performing at Encore, and was on a precarious part of his staging when it hit, and he, I guess he sort of called it, said, "Let me get off of this," but it was, I don't know if any damage. We had an explosion at one of the dorm rooms here at UNLV, but I believe that was not caused by the earthquake. But
no, it was the first one hit somewhere between here and in Southern California, but it wasn't in a populated area, or a highly populated area, and I suppose the second one as well. Having lived in Japan, I've experienced a lot of earthquakes, and there's usually a couple of varieties. Some of them were very violent, but short, a few seconds.
Yeah.
So it was over before you even really realized, holy shit, what was that?
Right.
The other kinds were the worst to me because they were slow and they built up. And you would think to yourself, you had time to think, I hope this isn't the big one. I wonder if this is the big one. When is it going to stop?
Right.
You might hear it only lasts like 20 seconds. But it seems like a really long time when they do that.
It does.
But again, I did not feel this one. Now, earthquakes have a tendency, for whatever reason, to follow me. I
got chased by a tornado in Florida.
You get chased by a tornado. I got chased by earthquakes. I was when I lived in Japan, I came out to visit family in Northern California. I had a flight back to Japan through L.A. I flew to Los Angeles, left, and 3 days later, they had the big Northridge quake. So, wow, that was something. Gee, had it been a couple of days later, I would have been there.
Yeah.
Then, I was before that, I was in Northern California, And I left, and I got back, and a couple days later, they had the Loma Prieta. That's the one that hit San Francisco in the late 80s. I was there for that. Now, I just so happened to have been in the Bay in California last week.
Right.
And although I wasn't in Southern California, I flew over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, maybe I woke the monster up again. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah. Well, all the seismologists, they'll come and talk to you.
Oh,
I
yes,
guess.
yes.
So I read in the news, of course, as everybody else did, that everybody at the new Raiders Stadium, they were sort of duck and cover.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. They were very worried about foundation issues because it's curing. It's not cured.
Yeah.
So they were very concerned about that. So I think they got the green light on that.
Yeah, these type of areas I think are a little more concerning than say like San Francisco, where San Francisco, because of the 1906 earthquake, if you go out in the avenues, the houses are absolutely built right up next to one another. There is no way you can probably fit your hand in between two sides. Oh, they built it deliberately.
Sure.
So that in case of the earthquake, they would hold each other up. Houses wouldn't collapse or one fall on top of the other one.
Yeah.
In other areas like around here, it's like nobody really thinks about it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's an issue of the desert, the sand floor and the foundations of even these big buildings. How are they going to hold up if something really, really big hits?
Right.
We don't know. It just hasn't happened.
Now, John.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask our listeners, and hopefully we have some left.
Yeah.
And welcome back.
And I was by the Raiders' current stadium just last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks great.
Yeah.
Looks great. It looks like a lot of fun. And I saw some drone work over it. It looks really good, actually, over the top. So that being said, the Raiders are coming. The stadium is coming. And with the stadium is coming the infrastructure changes, which we've already discussed. Quite a nightmare here in Las Vegas. But what you and I have both recently, in fact, in the last week, attended major sports arenas to watch major sports events.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask our listeners and viewers, if you're over on YouTube, what they think of this. Now, I'll tell you my experience. John and I talked a little bit about this on the pre-show. I went to the Chase Field. Yeah. Lovely field. Been there a couple of times. Hadn't been since it was called the Bob, the Bank One Ballpark, a long time ago. But it hasn't changed a bit. And beautiful field. The roof was closed. Everything was it was pristine and clean and wonderful. The light rail in Phoenix is kind of a pit, but it's okay. We got us there. My experience, I saw the Diamondbacks versus the Rockies. Diamondbacks won 8-0, blah, blah. That's the way it was. The Yankees weren't playing, so I don't care. So my experience with the game, unfortunately, was disappointing because the stadium was packed. Yeah. Now, granted, it was the 4th of July weekend, but 43,000 plus people. But the main thing that disappointed me was that the feeling and the spirit of the baseball game were absolutely tarnished, if not ruined, by the marketing and food machine that professional sports has become. Yeah. It was a $10 corn dog, a $14 Coke. I don't drink beer, but my guests did, and they were $14+. Wow. And yes, we've all been there. We've all been to sports things. All of our Golden Knights games, although I know the Golden Knights don't charge as much. But John, you went to a game. Yeah. You went to...
I went to the Giants game. Now, again, the last time I had been there, it was AT&T Park. Mm-hmm. The Giants, I think, were the first sports organization to whore the name of their stadium. It used to be Candlestick when they played there, and then they changed it. It was 3Com, and they were the first, and then other sports franchises did that. That San Francisco stadium was built in 2000, and so it's 19 years old. It's had 4 names. Because if originally it was Pac-Bell, which was the phone company, then Pac-Bell got sold to SBC, and it was SBC for 1 year. SBC was then bought out by AT&T. So then it was AT&T up until this year when it became Oracle Park. Mm-hmm. So I went to the game there. I also saw the Diamondbacks. Giants played the Diamondbacks. The Giants won that game 10-4. But yeah, I went to the concession stand before the game. I bought a beer. Now, I didn't buy a shitty American beer. I didn't buy Budweiser, Coors, or anything like that. It was a Stella Artois. And it was on tap. And a bottle of water for my kid. Yeah. He had the water, and I couldn't hear what the guy said, how much it was, but I gave him $20, and he gave me $1 back. So it was, as I found out when I looked later, it was $12.50 for the beer, which is better than $14 that your friends paid. And it was $6.50 for the bottle of water.
Yeah, see, now my question to the listeners, and to you for that matter, is that if you plan on going to see the Raiders, if you plan on going to experience the stadium, if you plan on going to experience any part of that situation, are you affected by that situation? Are you offended by it? Because Las Vegas patrons, locals, are very used to that sort of that relationship we have with our casinos and hotels. We can, for the most part, still sneak a couple of drinks for free if you play a little bit.
Yeah.
That if you don't visit the red light, green light places, and so on and so forth. We've already lost the parking situation, although I believe we're going to get that back.
Yeah.
I really do. But, is it going to affect you going to the game? Now, you and I have talked about wanting to go to the game. And, we're sort of old curmudgeons when it comes to this subject. But are we going to go? Probably yes. And if you go, will you protest that by not buying anything? Will you buy it and then be offended and never go again? Will you not go at all, knowing that situation, knowing that you're going to have to do ride share, you're going to have to do Lyft or Uber or the new driverless cars? The whole thing is this giant money machine, money pit. And I was really offended. Yeah. And the entire spirit of the game was ruined by the fact that, and I couldn't even get to the $14 drinks anyway because the crowd was so big. Yeah. But what do you think? I mean, is that going to affect you?
It used to be, again, you can't even I'm surprised they don't call it Ballpark Cuisine. It was food. And it was, I used to work the concession stands at Candlestick when I was in college, and I hawked beer. All they had there, they had Polish sausage, they had peanuts, and they had beer, and then soda. That was it. I could tell you, what do you got here? This is it. We don't have anything else. Right. It was that simple. Baseball was hot dogs and peanuts. Right. Right? And it was $1.75 for the hot dog, and the peanuts were 75 cents. And the beer was, you had two sizes. I remember this. It was $1.75 or $3.50. Right. Right. So, things go up, but now, holy Christ, in San Francisco, they got a crab sandwich. It's $18. And I wonder if the same, you think about if you go to a nice restaurant and you sit down, and you order a really gourmet hamburger or sandwich, it's $18. It's a bit steep, but hey, you're in a nice restaurant. It's kind of the same thing, I think, here with the buffets being $40, $50. Right. It's quite lavish, but it's a buffet. It's still go fetch it yourself. Right? Here's a clean plate and, iced tea. Oh, you wanted alcohol? You're going to have to pay extra, whatever. It's just like, gee, that's a lot of money to pay for a buffet. It's the same thing. You're at a baseball game. Right. How much? Come on, really? I could have taken the water out of the hotel room and not pay $6.50 for it and brought it into the stadium. Right. 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 So yeah, I wonder all these different choices they have. Still, come on, it's ridiculous what they charge. Yeah, it really is.
So let us know. Just curious. I mean, both John and I, experienced some games over the last week. So let us know what you think. I'm very curious what people are talking about. So one more thing, and this has to do with you, John, and your current position. I saw this, and it was a Las Vegas local done well, I think. And I'm not quite sure how to pronounce his first name. I did not look this up. But it's either Shaan or something of that nature. Shaan, and of course last name Patel. He is a Las Vegas local. Yeah. That gained fame, got his 15 minutes on Shark Tank. Oh, okay. Now I have a giant problem with Shark Tank.
They run a donut store. Donut Mania is owned by the guy who runs Shark Tank.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never seen the show. But
I think Shark Tank hopefully will jump the shark soon. So hope it will.
I heard it got canceled. The show.
Is it canceled? Yeah. I just can't imagine it lasted this long. But either way, Mr. Patel was a Las Vegas local on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
And very interesting. I don't know if clearly you don't know about this. I'm surprising John. John deals with, in his current position, the formation and the design of testing.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Patel won the Shark Tank on his particular episode. I'm not quite sure how the format works, but he won and got funding and got involved and it was all based on the fact that he kind of shanked his SATs back in the day. But then he took a test prep and really blew it away. And so now he's designed a test prep kind of thing. And I was just curious, what do you think of test prep things? Do you think they're good? Do you think they're bad?
Well, for general classrooms, they defeat the purpose of the assessment, which is how good are you, right? That's all we're trying to find out. Yeah. We're trying to measure what somebody knows,
right?
And that's why there's always measurement error. And again, I don't know why people want to so-called teach to the test. Oh, they want them to do better. Just make them sure that they understand the content. So think about it. If we're taking a math test, we're going to take a fourth grade math test. You and I know fourth grade math is going to be really easy for us. If you're a fourth grade student and you know the stuff, it's going to be easy for you. You don't need to prepare for the test as long as you know the content. Right? So that's what we're trying to find out. And also what a lot of people don't understand, particularly teachers, don't seem to understand this idea that psychometrically, they want to put the kids basically on a scale. Which are the ones who are below where we want them to be? Which are the ones are functioning at, we'll say, fourth grade? Which are the ones that are performing at third grade level? Which one are at fourth grade? How many of your kids are actually doing fifth grade? So they might put a few questions on there that are fifth grade. Why? Well, we don't expect the kids to answer them, not like a classroom test. It wouldn't be fair to the kids on a classroom test. But on a standardized assessment, we need that there to try to distinguish a cut down. They call the cut score. Where are the kids off that are advanced? These kids are already in the fifth grade, basically. They're above the standard. Where are the kids that are at standard and high and low, and which ones are just scraping by and which ones are below? And the only way you can do that is by having some pretty easy questions on there that you expect them to know, some that you think that they should know, and then some you're saying that most kids aren't going to get this one. And that's fine if they don't get it. So sure, there are ways you can try to game the test. Different strategies. Certain way I think of it when we put the questions together. Same thing like key runs. We always have to look to make sure we don't have, key run meaning the key meaning the right answer. It's A, B, C, or D. We don't want to have any more than 3 or 4 in a row that's B, because it's psychologically say, wait a minute. You can't even start saying this one can't be B because the last 3 were B, and that's right. Usually every state's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a key run is anything more than 3.
Right.
So that way there we might do something. We'll have to change the order of the items so we don't get a 4th one. The other thing is we look at the whole test. If there's 20 questions, we don't want 10 of them to be A, even if we didn't have a key run. Right? We want to have kind of have a mix there.
Well, a local boy done well. We wish him the best. He's actually going to launch that thing in Las Vegas.
Good for him.
First. So we'll see what happens.
And some kids, again, there are strategies that there's nothing wrong with that. Some kids, people are bad at taking tests. I've known people say,
"Sure,
look, you know this, you know that." Yeah, I know, but I thought it was too easy, so that's why I chose C. We're not trying to trick anybody. We really aren't.
Well, today's topic is a little more fun than test taking or creation. But it's
fun, Jamie.
But it's fun.
Get a little bastard.
That's right. It's fun, and maybe some of these folks that thought of all these questions, we'll call them dumb questions, just to, could have benefited from the test prep. But we'll see.
Maybe so. Las Vegas test prep. Maybe that's what we need to do.
Now, some of these are just funny. Some of these I found through some research that I did. Some were asked directly to me. Some were asked directly to us at our tenure as concierge. But before we start our dumb questions, John is going to read a statement from a book that he found that is the perfect thing for the 2 retired Las Vegas concierges that are running this podcast.
Yeah. Now, this is from a novel I was reading. It's called If She Wakes. It's by Michael Kurita. It's spelled KorYta. If you like the suspense mystery genre, and you have not read Michael Kurita, you're missing out. He's really, really good.
Right.
Anyhow, this is his latest novel, If She Wakes. Anyhow, his line is, he wore the sort of perpetual but false half smile of someone whose job required him to feign interest in the troubles of strangers, like a hotel concierge.
Yes, sir.
And obviously he has experience with it.
John brought that to me, and I think I'll make a poster out of it and put it right in the middle of the Venetian.
Yeah.
All right, so these are in no particular order. Like I said, some are funny, some are dumb, some are classically dumb.
Yeah.
But we still hear these.
Yeah.
It's an interesting bunch of questions that never seem to die.
And I guess maybe part of it is Las Vegas is, it's a city built on illusions and mirage.
Yes.
So people are going to be disillusioned. They're going to have some dumb questions.
The fact that we continue to have unique questions that are questionable in their own terms just proves that so many more people than I can even imagine have never been here.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the Las Vegas podcasts, they talk about it, and all the people, all their fans and everything else, they've been here a million times, and they still want to hear new stuff about it, that people are just enamored with Vegas still. Yeah. I'm just stunned by the number of people that haven't been here.
And I remember I was reading an interview once with a writer who was writing a book that was taking place in Las Vegas but didn't live here. And when I said, it must have been, an awful place to grow up. And I thought, why would they think that? And do they really think that there's slot machines like in the cafeterias at school?
That's right.
Now, I'll tell you, my kid who basically grew up here.
Yeah.
We moved back when he was in the 4th grade. He's been in plenty of casinos because you go to movie theaters and they're in casinos or you have to go through them or buy them. There's been buffets and restaurants. He has zero interest in any form of gaming. None of his friends do. So I asked him, he said, maybe because they're just jaded by it. There's no novelty. They've seen it pretty much their whole lives. Right. They see people lose. They see even the winners with their pictures posted on the picture. They look like shit. They've got, their teeth are all tobacco stained, or the teeth they have left, and they're holding up a fan of money because they won today. That's why their picture's on there. What they don't show is the other dozen times, how long did they lose that money?
Which is interesting because generally speaking, Las Vegas is like a bad night at Fortnite.
Yeah.
I mean, in bunny outfits, throwing fists in the club. So, it's definitely part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of bunnies, the first question I saw, now this has to be a tongue-in-cheek response to something, but the guy said, "If I go to one of the bunny ranch places, can I keep a bunny?" Now, obviously, he's got to be kidding. Yeah, he's got to know that that we're not talking about little fluffy bunnies.
No.
But
we had that one time. We talked about the topless show, and somebody thought we opened the roof.
Right.
I said, no, the dancers aren't wearing a top.
That's right.
They're topless.
Which is a whole lot better.
Yeah, it was a whole lot better than opening up the roof like they do at the ballpark.
That's right. That's right. So I'm going to go out on a limb and confirm that either a fuzzy bunny or a lovely young lady, you cannot keep the bunnies.
No, you can only borrow them.
That's right. For $300 an hour.
Rent them, actually.
That's right. Okay, now this one, I like this one. Is it called the Strip because of all the strip clubs? Now, is that a dumb question? No,
it makes sense.
That's fair enough. Yeah. It is not.
No.
And the research I found, actually, the road that we're talking about of Las Vegas Boulevard, or the Strip, is originally called Arrowhead Highway or Los Angeles Highway. And I'm not quite sure if this is a wives' tale, but there was a gentleman, an ex-police officer in Los Angeles, one of your favorite people, John.
Oh yes,
and a business person. His name is Guy McAfee or McAfee, whatever. And he is given the credit for coining the term the Strip that he gave to Vegas after Sunset Strip.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because I thought that there was a TV
California.
Show when I grew up. Remember 77 Sunset Strip?
Yes. Yeah. So no, it is not. It'd be cool if it was named because of all the strip
As far
clubs.
as I know, there are no strip.
There are no strip clubs on Las Vegas Boulevard.
No, the Olympic Garden was was that on Las Vegas Boulevard?
I
It was
believe
down. It was far enough down.
It was far enough down.
It kind of wasn't the strip. But, but it might have been a little bit off.
All the strip clubs. There's quite a few on a road called Western.
Yeah.
And of course, then if you continue way downtown, like the Palomino, that's grandfathered in. That's way out there.
There's
but
far more wedding chapels on the strip.
Far more, far more. So no, it's named by Mr. McAfee there. Number 3, and I can just see now. This is a dumb question.
Yeah,
this qualifies as dumb. And I don't know who said these, so we're not calling anybody dumb.
Yeah.
But the questions are out there; they exist. John, if we get married, not you and me.
Yeah, but
if we get married in Las Vegas, are we married in the whole country?
Yes.
Yeah, even internationally.
Yes, actually, yes.
You are indeed.
You are indeed married.
Now, my guess is that.
Well, I mean, as long as you go through, I mean, you get a marriage license and everything. I suppose you could just hire the Elvis guy to come and do it. People do the revows and they're not getting remarried.
Yes.
Right, I suppose.
I think that's where the question stems from.
Yeah.
It's still pretty dense, but the question must stem from, a lot of people think. I've been asked if it's legal to get married in Las Vegas, and are they binding? And I was like, well, absolutely. If you go, we don't do blood tests or anything. It's $50. It used to be $55. Down at the Clark County offices,
and they're open 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yep.
Minus a couple of holidays.
Yeah.
And then even if it's an Elvis officiant. It's binding.
Yeah, he's licensed. He has to be licensed.
And quite honestly, much like church, it was binding when you got the license.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were
it's
kind of
just a
married
ceremony.
then.
Yeah, it's just a ceremony that goes through it.
But yes, you will be married in every place, even Utah.
Yeah. Now they have, they opened the kiosk again at the airport. I haven't seen it, even though I was there.
They did.
And I thought, what they really need is an annulment kiosk. People who say, what the fuck did I just do? On the way out of town, you get it annulled or something. Yeah. That's what they really need. Because let's face it, it's one thing you get married who wants to get married in an airport?
Yes.
And that's kind of, I don't know. Are you coming or you going?
Now, I saw this question on a research that I did. It was a Reddit thing. But I guarantee you, and I'm not lying, I had this question at the Venetian while standing at the desk.
Yeah.
I was a relatively new concierge. And a little wet behind the ears, maybe. And this guy came up, and he said with great conviction, how much is it costing to rent the Eiffel Tower from France?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
And I'll start off by saying that is not the Eiffel Tower we have here in Las Vegas. It is, of course, a percentage reproduction.
And it's much smaller.
Much smaller. We are not renting it. At the time it was Caesars and the Paris and Bally's. They paid for it to be built, but we are not renting the Eiffel Tower.
No.
It is still very comfortably in France, and there are actually 3 Eiffel Towers of different varying sizes in France, but we are not renting it.
No, not renting that.
That would be costly, I think, after a while. Those wacky French.
And the sand at Mandalay Bay, it really wasn't brought in from
the pyramids. No, we built it all. It's all brand new. It's all brand new.
Did they use slave labor to build the pyramids just for realism?
Yeah, they did. The iron workers, 457, sure. And of course, though, I have to remind everybody, speaking of replicas, we had the United States Postal Service, the poor United States Postal Service had the the Statue of Liberty stamp debacle, which is actually a picture of our Statue of Liberty,
which is also much smaller.
Okay, so that I'm going to call that's a dumb question.
Yeah, that is a dumb one.
But okay, maybe if you squint, and think about it, it could make sense. Number 5. Okay. Oh, my terrible writing. Now this one is a joke. It's actually not a dumb question, but I thought it was absolute. Whoever said it, if you're out there listening to the Pod Bay Door and these 2 silly gentlemen, good on you. It made me laugh out loud. Is it easy to get drugs in Las Vegas because there are so many dealers? Indeed. So just I hope you're
That's
laughing at
right.
home or in your
That's
car
right.
while you're listening. Yes, it is very easy to get drugs here. Now it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll skip past that one. I just thought that was fantastic.
That's pretty good.
This is a wonderful one. This was not asked to me. This was asked to a concierge at the Four Seasons in a conversation that I came across. And if you gamble enough, John, if you gamble enough, can you not file taxes that year?
Well, I guess if you lose everything.
Yeah. Just tell them you're helping rent the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
And you'll get that tax incentive there.
Yeah.
No. However, I can't answer now. This may be the direction of the question. I wasn't there when it was asked. Again, the question is: if you gamble enough, can you not file taxes that year? No. You have to file your taxes every year until we figure something out, until some sort of sovereign nation thing is established. But if you gamble, you can use those on your taxes.
That's right.
But you need to keep a lot of sports bettors. They do that because it's a heavy.
Yeah.
So if you're over 12, what is it, $11.99 in gambling losses, you can start thinking about writing those off on your taxes, but you still need to file those.
Even when I lived in Japan all those years, I had to file taxes. You didn't have to pay anything, but I had to file it, and it was useful when I came back because all of a sudden they didn't start asking questions like, "Where the hell have you been the last 15 years?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no, pay your taxes. Pay your taxes. We'll let you know when you don't have to. Number 7, can I? I've been asked this so many. My wife was asked this so many times, and it's become an infection on our country, on our globe. Can I take a selfie with the dealer and the money?
Oh, geez,
no, you can't.
Don't take it. Yeah.
Don't take a selfie while you're sitting at the table. You're gonna make everybody nervous. Can you get one taken? Well, sure. We have a few party pits around town where they're going to have fun with you. But no, you can't take don't. Don't take selfies near machines.
Don't take selfies, period.
Yeah, don't engage your phone near anything gambling.
Yeah.
They don't like it. They get nervous.
Yeah.
They don't know what technology is going to screw them next.
Yeah, like I said, whoever invented the selfie stick needs to be brutally beaten.
Yeah. So that more and more houses here, I know MGM is now cracking down on selfie sticks. You can still get selfies, throughout the hotels and stuff. And vlogging, they don't like vlogging. They don't like people walking around with any type of camera. I mean, you can do it, especially if you're just doing it for fun. But it's not like walking around amusement parks and such. Like Disney, for example, they love the vloggers. And I think it would be so much fun to do that. Vegas is a little different because we're still dealing with money.
And cheating too. That's what they're really wanting to find.
I mean, there's so many cheats out there. So no, don't take selfies. Put your cell phone down. Number 8. Which hotel? Now this one I don't know if this is real or not. Again, I found this during the research, and it has to stem from the Hangover movies. The Hangover movie. Which hotel can you have tigers in your room? None.
Yes.
And there's only 2 where you can have dogs, or it's pet friendly.
Yeah.
And one is an amazing one. Do you know the?
No. Which
the
one?
number one? Motel 6, I believe, allows it, but I don't. That's not a hotel.
Yeah.
But a major hotel on the Strip will accept dogs. The Four Seasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember one time I had a dog I stayed at the Fairmont in Seattle, and they allowed me to have a dog. Yeah. I remember at the Venetian we arranged for kennels.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we had dogs behind our desk waiting for the guy to pick it up.
Right. Yeah. But no tigers. It was a movie.
Or the guy from the employee dining room come down to pick up the chihuahuas or whatever.
Right.
Hey, where'd you get that taco meat?
Right. So no tigers. Generally, no cats of any type.
No. No candles.
No candles.
No Christmas trees.
No Christmas trees.
No real ones.
No. what's the thing you lit every year?
The menorah.
No menorahs.
Yes, we had the one with light bulbs, or electric
right.
light bulbs. That's
right.
That caused a lot of problems.
Yes, we were chastised for lighting the menorah incorrectly.
Yeah.
So no, and Mike Tyson it won't come to your room, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So number 9, will self-driving cars take you to strip clubs?
Are they moralistic or something
I did research this.
Yeah, all right.
Aptiv, which is a subsidiary or a partner of Lyft, are running currently in Las Vegas the self-driving cars. Now, they will always have a ghost driver during their testing phase. So you're always going to be driving with somebody who's going to be able to step on the brake.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not let them steer? Right.
Right. So they don't have the same problem they had in Phoenix where they ran over that poor homeless lady.
Yeah.
But will they take you to strip clubs? No, not currently, because the clubs, as John stated earlier, aren't located on Las Vegas Boulevard. They're quite a ways from that, and they haven't basically. It's not because they won't; it's that they haven't mapped it yet. So. As soon as they map it, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will. Aptiv, APTIV, it's a Lyft company. And I see them all the time, and they're continually mapping, and they will take active rides. So I'll do it. That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know.
We'll have to do that sometime, Jamie, just to see if it'll take us there.
And number 10, near and dear to all of our hearts.
Yes.
We've all been broke at some point in our lives. We've all been to Vegas, and we've thrown our last dollar into the those one-button bandits.
Yeah.
And I love this one. This was asked to me many times, and I saw it again. Asked to another concierge, can you become a dealer to work off your debt?
No.
And if you mean just your general debt, yes, you can become a dealer, get a job as a dealer. But I think the person
like washing dishes.
Washing dishes. Yeah. No, you cannot. If you take out markers and can't pay, you cannot suddenly become a dealer. It actually takes quite a bit of skill to be a dealer.
Yeah.
Especially craps and otherwise. But no, you cannot do that. You can't. Dine and dash and suddenly
there's
have
a pawn shop down the street.
That's right.
They'll take your watch and whatever else you have.
That's right.
What was it? One of the dumbest questions I was ever asked is somebody came to the desk looking and they said, when are they going to let the pigeons go in the casino?
Right.
Or when are they going to let the pigeons go? And I said, well, they do it every hour. And I was just down in I said, they don't let them out in the casino. Oh, they don't? Can you imagine if they allowed, pigeons flying overhead while people are trying to gamble? And you know what pigeons do? The pigeons only do two things. They eat and they shit, right? I mean, that's all they do. They can't even fly very well.
Right.
So, just have a big flocks of birds in the casino.
Well, see, and in my grandmother's time, and where she grew up, a bird in a building was horrible bad luck, and then somebody's going to die.
Yes, that's right. It was an omen. Yeah. Birds flying in. Yeah. That's right.
So there's a couple rumors we'll talk about, and then we'll say goodbye to you. But again, we're thrilled you guys came back with us. You can find us on all the formats, the Pod Bay Door, and just look for us on iTunes and Podbean and
Stitcher.
Stitcher. Actually, tune in if you want to. If you guys like Google Home, or if you have your Alexas out there, just tell Alexa to enable those, and you can listen to us directly on those, which is what my mom does.
Yeah.
So please visit us. It's thepodbaydoor.com. John and I really appreciate you coming back and having some Vegas fun. So a couple rumors. They're going to change the entrance to the MGM again.
Again?
Yes. We're not happy with this lion now.
No.
So they're going to, actually, it has nothing to do with the lion. If you remember, we've talked about this many times. The lion originally, it was built, the facade entrance from Las Vegas Boulevard through the mouth of a lion. That's bad luck to some cultures, specifically Asian cultures. So we went from the mouth to the big gold lion, which is there now.
Yeah.
And now the lion is taking up valuable eating space.
Oh, I see.
So we're going to make some more shopping.
Just what we need, another fucking restaurant,
right?
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
Overpriced restaurant, I should
say. That's right. So the other thing is that the rumors about gambling at Raider Stadium, I could find no information about that or anybody that would want to talk to me about that. I don't know. I don't. It's not necessary. Why would you? Why would you want that? And they want. I think they're going to want the flow to be just peak. Get in, enjoy the game, buy the $38 hot dog, leave.
Yeah. It would be fun though. I mean, they flash on the scoreboard prop bet.
Right.
He shanks this field goal attempt. Right. All of a sudden, yes, I'll bet on that.
Right. There was also the rumor that all fireworks. This was the last fireworks you'll see on Las Vegas Boulevard. That is absolutely not true.
I don't think that's true.
You will see fireworks. It changes every year.
Yeah.
But you'll see fireworks at New Year's Eve and July 4th.
I don't know if you saw, but they had to cancel the fireworks show that was scheduled at Red Rock.
I didn't.
No, why? Because they didn't file the paperwork in time. They didn't get a permit. They had all the fireworks ready to go. Oh shit! We forgot to file the
pink slips. Pink slips are coming out on that one.
Yeah. So save them for next year. I guess they'll blow, or New Year's anyway. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know why silly rumors like that come about, but and I heard that there's always the rumor the Raiders are here. The Golden Knights came in. They're killing it.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. Go Knights. Raiders are going to come in. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what people think. And that now that they keep pushing the baseball and the basketball, it's not happening right now. It's just not happening right now. The money people, they see the money. It's possible, but it's not going to. There's no movement.
Yeah.
There's some behind, closed door talks. With the Las Vegas elders and all the money people that are behind that. But no, there is nothing forthcoming as it regards another major sports team. Because we got to see how this is working. The Golden Knights were a great toe in the water. Raiders will be a major play. We'll see if Mr. Davis and all the people of Las Vegas get along.
Yeah. But also, when you think about ice hockey, they play what, an 81 game season. So they play 41 home games or 40 home games, something like that. Now they make the playoffs like they usually do. The playoffs are in 2 months. There's going to be several more of those games, whatever. But football, the football season's only 16 games. So you're only looking at 8 games. So there really isn't, that's fine. I think having the hockey and the football, you're not getting saturated. You start adding in basketball, which is also a fall, wintry type of sport, right? Because it starts up in September, October,
right
around there, and you got the playoffs right around the same time as hockey, right? You have them both at the same time. Now you're starting to really get, unless it's pretty rare. Now Boston had the luxury this past year. Boston sports teams won the World Series. They won the Super Bowl. They missed out on the NBA Finals. They made it to the second round. Hockey made it to the Stanley Cup playoffs and went to the 7th game. So it's kind of rare that you have all of your teams doing really well.
Yeah.
Usually one's doing well, one's doing kind of shitty.
Right.
So the Golden Knights are doing well. If they were to bring in a basketball team, they're not doing so well, and they go back and forth.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know if it might saturate the...
I don't think we'll ever get basketball. I don't think we need basketball.
We got the summer league. That's fine.
We got summer league
and they got the UNLV
exhibition, and they come in. The Lakers come in quite often.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we need that.
No, we don't.
Baseball.
They got a minor league team.
They got minor league. The Aviators in their new stadium are doing great. I don't see that as well. So just leave them be. We'll see how the Raiders do.
Yeah.
Last one. It's actually a true rumor. People were asking about. Second quarter, 2Q, is the first time in decades where gaming was down, restaurants were down, hotel occupancy was down.
Yeah, and MGM laid off 700 people.
Yeah. So absolutely true. You're not gonna. Las Vegas is we control our media and we do it well. We always have. There's a lot of things that we keep, under the sheets and we keep out of the public eye. But unfortunately, that kind of thing is pretty big news. And that was the first time, I believe they said, in over 45 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think it was 45. Yeah. But either way, many years that all three were down all at the same time. So it's a little concerning for the money guys.
Yeah.
But it's not... we're not shuttering the windows, quite yet.
Yeah.
But there's a few little, things that I think they're going to tweak and see what happens. We got a couple of boutique things happening here. I know the Thunderbird Hotel had a Jack Daniels special coming up, and there's the Artisan Hotel. We just had a special event, and so little boutiquey things are giving it a shot.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if they have that, but
And
no
also,
gaming, of course.
If somebody's thinking of coming here,
Yeah.
we've had a pretty mild summer so far.
Yeah.
Temperature-wise, in fact, I think today is one of those surprising days. The high temperature is only supposed to be 99 Fahrenheit,
Right.
Which is unusual. Usually, end of May, we hit 100, and it doesn't go under 100 until October.
Right.
And here we are at 99, and the average is 104. And in recent summers, we've had it, 110, 15, 16 around this time of year. So I've noticed that it's far more mild. And it's going to continue that way with temperatures, 102, 100. I know it sounds high, but until you come here, it's not so bad.
Yeah. So there you go. A little bit of a rumor mill, a couple of dumb questions, and we'll see a Shark Tank guy here anytime now.
That's right.
But again, everybody, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for listening. It's the Pod Bay Door. John and Jamie, we both really appreciate you guys keeping in touch with us and listening in. We try to do one every couple of weeks. We've had a lot of traveling of late. And of course, you can check in with both John and I on our other podcast. It's The Invisible Maybe. Try it at theinvisiblemaybe.com. And we talk about all different types of things, movie and tech and traveling and foods, and it's a lot of fun. But again, thank you for coming back to us for some Las Vegas talk. For John, this is Jamie. We will see you real soon. Thanks to everyone listening and watching. You can catch the Pod Bay Door on the Podbean app or any of your favorite podcast apps, including iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, and Stitcher Radio. You can watch the show on our YouTube channel at the Pod Bay Door Podcast. Please download, like, and subscribe. Our social connectivity screen is coming up. Check in with us on Facebook, Twitter, and WordPress. The Pod Bay Door is closed and talent is out. Hey everybody, thank you very much for tuning into the show. We would love to hear your show suggestions and comments. If you are watching on our YouTube channel, please click to subscribe. You can also connect with us on Facebook using @PBD Podcast, on Twitter using @TPBD Podcast, and on WordPress at thepodbaydoor.wordpress.com.